Another benefit to failure is that we learn to depend on God. Speaking of Jello, years ago I did make Jello, and one time we invited my husband's boss for dinner, and we didn't know him very well. He was a single man, and I had prepped the meal the night before. And for some reason, the Jello didn't set. How do you ruin Jello? I did, apparently. And the rice and the chicken were overcooked. And Fred said, "I love the way this rice is," as he was pushing out seconds to get on his plate. And I'm trying to take the plate off the table, or the whole dish off the table. And he said, "This is the way my mom made it." And so it made him feel at home. And I was trying to be gracious and say, "Oh, well, I'm so glad you enjoyed it," but I was embarrassed. You know, it wasn't perfect, and it was difficult to say thank you for something that I had not intended. But later, you know, we had really sweet fellowship around the fireplace over coffee, and God encouraged a very lonely man with this terrible dinner, or really a mediocre dinner. And he probably doesn't remember that, but obviously I do. That fail stayed in my mind. But the lesson stayed in my mind, and that's what I want to pass on to you. It doesn't matter. And we gave grace and encouragement to a lonely man that afternoon, and it was worth it. It was worth the embarrassment and the humiliation. My pride was hurt, but the older I get, the more I want my pride to be obliterated, and so I guess I'll keep making mistakes. If things are easy, I think we forget how much we need God, and I know that's a basic lesson. But when we do hospitality in spite of our insecurity or our hesitations, that helps us rely on God and realize that He's the one who's perfect. I can forget that God is the power and the strength behind anything I do for Him if things are just too easy.